We'd like to take a minute to thank this week's sponsor, Local Menace Apparel. Local Menace is a Dallas, Texas-based apparel brand that is hell-bent on destroying your wardrobe and has been providing the world with bad fashion since 2017. From shirts to hats to some dope-ass bottle openers. Check them out at localmenace.com for all your anti-fashion needs. Don't forget to sign up for their Bad Fashion Brigade mailing list. Stay updated on new merch, weekly sales, and exclusive discounts. Because they got new merch coming out all the time with brand new shirt drops every month. Make sure to use our code POPPUNK at checkout for 25% off your order. Thanks so much. Now let's get back to the show.
Well, you know what time of the week it is. It is clearly a Monday, and we are back with a brand new episode of Where Did All My Friends Go, a podcast about life in the music industry. And today we had some special guests on. We had Stop.Drop.Rewind, and these guys, dude, these guys are one, they're fucking funny. Two, they're smart. It's all get out. I cannot believe how smart they are, and they are dedicated to their craft. Like literally, we didn't know what was going on, but Chris and Andy, like they're so dedicated that like Andy, who was on during the first half, was literally going to play a show, and and we had Chris, who was like doing some logistics stuff for the band, and then apparently 5 minutes before the podcast even started, they just finished like filming some sort of promo, or I forgot what they had.
A video?
Yeah, a video.
Some sort of
like,
video.
These guys are literally on the grind, and they like, I respect the fuck out of that. So if you hear like cars like in the background, or like Chris driving, or like, that's what that is. And holy shit, I respect the fuck out of that. Like 100%.
Absolutely. Let's get into that episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go, a podcast about life in the music industry. And today we have Chris, DJ, and Andy. Andy will be popping in back and forth throughout the day because he's actually in Arkansas playing a gig. He's actually doing what we want to be doing, but here we are with Stop, Drop, Rewind. Stop, Drop, Rewind is from, let's see if I get this right, Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valparaiso. It's like a long A sound. Hello. Yes.
Indiana. Well, that's Indiana for you. And
and then there's one it's Spanish. There's one in Chile also.
Oh.
So basically what I have here on this interview card is, this is what happens when emo kids grow up and get jazz degrees.
Us, not the town. Yeah.
Yes.
The town is about as Indiana-y as you could imagine. That is us. Yeah.
That's Valparaiso.
Yeah.
That's the town.
Valparaiso is
it's a bunch of emo kids that got jazzy. You know what? If that's the case, I'm moving.
Yep.
we had a good scene for like one show, because there was like a progressive metal band that everybody kind of rallied around. It was our friends in some of the guys we were friends with in a band called Vulturous, and we had like 80 or 90 kids show up to a coffee shop one time, and so then that got shut down pretty fast.
Yeah, there's a little venue in St. Paul, Minnesota called Cadence Records.
Oh, I love Cadence Records.
It's awesome. I love playing Cadence. It is the tiniest room. Like, you will pack out this room with like 30 people. And
and then those are
like,
good though.
Yeah, they're amazing. And then it like bleeds into the record shop. And like there'll be people out like in the record shop just like trying to like peek in through the doorway. And oh man, when shows like that like book and sell and just fill up, I would take that over like a 200 cap almost any day. Like they're just so much fun.
Well, we're not filling 200 caps, so
well, there's that. Well, I mean.
Yeah, that's okay. Neither are we. But those, we do our album releases in the basement of the music store in town that I taught at for a while also, and that like that's the kind of place, like our Element and Aftermath, our 2018 album release, there was people like had to sit on like the stairs to the other floor and stuff, and like we're like peeking
Nice.
around the corner to like try and see the show. This album release was not that, because it was 5 degrees outside, and also it was insane like COVID surge out here. So like,
Right.
not that, I guess we shouldn't get into it that fast. Not that anybody in Indiana cares about that. They just all literally were sick, so they couldn't come to the show.
It's
Sure.
Indiana. We understand.
Literally
getting-
everyone had it.
We're going
Yeah.
right hard right out the gate with Ed.
We're just,
Indiana.
oh yeah, man. I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
I mean, but isn't that the case though? Like you just like shit on the place where you're from.
Yeah, it's about as pop punk emo as it gets, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck this
Yeah.
place.
That literally, I think I saw a TikTok that was like, the only difference between pop punk and country music is how you feel about your hometown. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, DJ?
We did. Oh, I was gonna take that over too. Yeah. We
Yeah.
did move here. We did move here on purpose.
We
We're
left
not actually from here. Yeah.
What was
say,
that?
say it again, DJ.
I said we left our hometown already.
Oh, so what is your hometown?
Yeah.
Chris and I are both from a suburb of Baltimore.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
really?
Why'd you
Baltimore
leave?
to Indiana.
That's correct.
That
Mm.
seems like a downgrade.
Doesn't it?
DJ is clearly
Hey.
upset.
Hey, DJ got a wife out of this, so I don't know.
That's true. I married a Hoosier lady, so
That's fair.
there's a win. There's a win.
That's true.
So did
I
you
don't
guys
even want to say a silver lining because that doesn't sound like a very good way to describe my wife, but
Tell her she's it's a gold medal lining.
exactly. That's
Well,
exactly
okay.
what
Will she listen to the podcast?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
well then,
Probably.
Hell yeah.
All right.
She is extremely supportive.
That's awesome.
What's
It's
that
always
like?
great when you have a significant other that's like actually supportive of what you do.
What's a significant other?
Bear had one at one time. She
Yeah.
wasn't supportive.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like a best friend. Not
Just- yeah.
sexually.
So did you guys move to Indiana for school then? Or
Yes.
Chris did.
Okay.
I moved to Indiana to join Stop.Drop.Rewind like a year after Chris moved out here.
okay.
So what was that like for you? Were you like, I mean, Stop, Drop, and Rewind back then was still, I mean, every band is still an up and coming band, but
Right.
that for like even a year ago would be more of a risk than it would be today because of what you guys have already garnered at this point. So let's get into that real quick. It's what made you make an entire like uproot your life, move to Indiana for a band that's, let's be honest, that's a risk. What made you want to do that?
I mean, Chris and I have been playing music together since we were 10 years old.
Right now.
And we went to separate colleges at first. And I was in other bands. I was still in Maryland at the time, and I was in other bands. It just didn't feel the same. And I just figured I wanted to see it through with him. I thought the strongest products I put out was the stuff that we wrote together.
Yeah.
And he was in a band out here that was working. Our plan at the time was we'll just keep our band from Maryland going in the summers. And then after college, we'll hit that full force. And then we kind of both were like, why are we waiting? Why don't we just do this now with the band we have together?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, 4 months a year is not enough time to like do something.
no, that's a side project. And we quickly realized that was what it was going to be. So we figured we'd make our main project the one that we could do year round. And that's Stop, Drop, Rewind. So here I am.
And that's a mentality that, like, personally, I'm all for. I am all for like side projects, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Something that I've seen in my own personal experience, and it's not a bash. It's not like degrading this in any shape or form, because if you like it, you like it. But I've never been able to wrap my head around the idea of side projects when your main project still isn't anything.
Right.
Now,
Oh,
I mean, I like fun.
and again, like it doesn't bother me. Like I'm not sitting here like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, oh, I just don't understand it, because I'm sitting here like, if it were my band, I'd want that band to grow into something that out of that, something more could happen. So
Right.
it's like if I'm creating a side project on a band that still isn't where I want it to be,
Yeah, it's
I'm
still
already
growing.
splitting my my attention into two different, now both of them are side projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
That's-
Yeah,
so
don't-
you mean like to be clear, you mean like when people are like doing it for like they're having shows multiple times a month, they might do like a weekender if they're at that level, they might be in the studio and they have like merch, like and they're promoting it online and then also doing that as a side project. And you're like, why are you spending the time on is that you don't mean just like hanging out with your buddies in their basement having like a funny band, right?
No,
No.
I mean
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to take 2 to 3 different bands seriously when
That's
So,
okay,
like,
the
yeah.
first band you
So
were in
like
is your main
standard
project.
drummers.
Okay, I will
Most
give
drummers are
drummers
in-
a break because they're few and far between.
Yeah.
Andy's killing it right now.
It's just like almost every drummer I know. I don't know Andy, so but almost every drummer I know is at least involved in about
2 to 3 bands.
4, yeah, at least I would say 3 to 4 different bands.
Jeez.
Yeah,
If he's
I
not
mean,
gonna have
the other
if
day,
he doesn't
Huh?
he's playing, we're not. So
Yeah, point taken.
There it is. There's that.
so
little too on
Andy
the
and I
nose there.
Andy and I play full time, and Andy plays like extremely full time. So
Sure.
there's not a band that Andy doesn't do,
Yeah, that's fair.
But
I mean,
again,
or like an artist or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
And that's
As
and
long
that's
as
also
it pays.
right. And that's also one of the things we're saying, that there's like drummers are so few and far between, really, as it is. So it's like it's easy for them to be busy when guitar players kind of a dime a dozen.
we've said it on this podcast before, but you could throw a rock out of a moving car and hit a guitarist in Wisconsin.
Mm,
Like
you certainly can.
Not here. It's just me. I get all the work.
you get all the
Nice.
work.
I love it. So one of the things I want to say, like your guys' sound is incredibly unique. It's smart, it's technical, and it's very catchy. So how do you guys categorize your genre when people come up to you and ask?
I
we-
usually like. Oh, go ahead, DJ.
I said we get really nervous and really clammy and kind of stammer over like trying to figure out what that person likes so we could say trend our explanation towards that direction, because honestly we don't have a fully satisfactory answer to this question.
You just say math
That's
rock.
fair.
Just say math.
Yet.
I actively don't say math rock because we're not like a math rock band.
I mean,
There's-
fair until you watch your TikToks where it's like, well, this bar is it's actually in 14/8, right?
Right,
then
right,
after
but
that,
here's
it's
the-
going to go into
that.
one bar of
But here's the and hold on to your Twitter, DJ. We're like the reason I don't say math rock is because I do all of that stuff to be interesting and say something, and not to scare and confuse people.
Sure.
Like to be deliberately inaccessible, right? So part of like the math rock thing is that you're supposed to notice that it's in an odd time signature, so that the listener goes, "Oh, cool! It's an odd time signature."
right. Like I'm somehow better and more
Right.
eclectic because I listen to math rock.
We are kind of operating on the opposite wavelength, where if you could listen to the whole song, sing all the lyrics, and not notice that there's an odd time signature, and then if you actually dig into it, you're like, "Wait a second, they just changed meter like 4 times."
Yeah, and that actually, I mean, you probably know this. You guys know this as songwriters in general, especially songwriters who play in different time signatures than 4/4. One of the things that I decided to do over the last couple of years was like try to understand why pop music is as good and as popular as it is. And everyone thinks, oh, it's the same formula. It's the same A, B, C, B formula. Okay. There's a little truth to that. But then like I started like listening to the time signatures of like the really popular songs. They're not all in 4/4.
It's not
Those-
always in 4. No, I know.
Yeah, and it's like those are the ones that I gravitate to because it's interesting, even if I'm not thinking about it. Like because back onto what you're saying about math rock, there's a deliberation, like it's deliberate, where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm purposely listening to a song in a different time signature. However, when you can play around with time signatures and not notice the change, it's that much better and more intriguing and captures your attention even that much more, even if you have no idea or like are actively like counting, you wouldn't know. And that's
Right.
what I think is one of the most amazing subtleties about being able to play in different time signatures than 4/4.
I like music that has, and actually DJ at least have talked about this quite a bit. Oh, sorry, Andy, what?
Andy? Oh, he gone. He's out.
Oh, that's a mess. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There
I
it
was gonna say, I think the difference is in the process of how you approach it, because for us, the music comes first, and then time signature is meant for an analyzation of it, and instead of the first thing you do.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Stop me if I'm wrong, but having the time signature come as an afterthought to the process makes it that much more intriguing. Like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be an organic part of the song. So I
Yes.
generally don't sit down, and this is the difference with math rock and why they're all going to yell at us on Twitter. But they sit down and say, "Man, I'm really going to get them, and I'm going to write this song in alternating 17 and then 13, 16," and like that's so impenetrable.
yeah.
If I write something in a unusual time signature, because like I don't really count, 4, 3, 6, 8, 12, 8, that kind of stuff is like pretty standard, and everybody can kind of feel that naturally. And most of our music that we listen to has it. Anything else, when it's really starting to get mixed, we generally wrote that sort of organically, and then we sit down and pick, then we set it. So I'm probably not playing in like 11, like a 6 and a 5 every single time when we're writing the riff. We're just like either going over a riff that sounds cool and maybe finessing it a little bit, or like trying to come up with something like, oh, this isn't quite there, like let's add this or take this away. And then after a while, when it feels good, you stop, and I'll say, hey DJ, count this for me.
Mhm.
And that's where and then the one that feels the best, then we set the meter, and then you have to learn the part in the funny
Mhm.
business time signature. So if it ends up being 11, I guarantee we played it in like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 when we wrote it. And then that was the one that felt the best for the song. And then we pick it and then make all of the measures in 11, just as a hypothetical example here.
And sometimes it changes when we add lyrics, after
Right.
I finish writing a vocal line or a melody. Sometimes, we're like, that actually does need another beat to breathe, or something
yeah.
like that. And we end up totally scrapping what we had before. And now we end up with completely different.
Yeah. But back to what Andy was saying, it all comes as a part of the process without making it as deliberate as it needs to be in this signature, and
Right.
everything else
Correct.
needs to work around it.
I also don't say we're math rock, and I can funnel us back to your actual question here, because we don't have, besides being funny and taking little digs at math rock guys here, we don't have we barely have any two-hand tapping, and that's such a huge part of the math rock sound. And we don't have like the twinkly guitars really. We have a lot of guitar work that I really like,
Right.
but we don't really have that clean kind of Telecaster twinkle twinkle sound.
Yeah.
Or the
Like
Midwest
tiny
emo
little chords or
vocals.
something like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of other, and Andy is more likely to go into like kind of a backbeat two, and this goes with that meter thing, instead of like some kind of 16th note angular. Here, he's at least as likely to do both. So, that's why I don't.
Like, so when people ask, we play rock and roll. Like that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're in a rock band.
Well, here's my tiered answer to those your question there. So you're following us on TikTok and stuff. We say prog punk because that's what everybody on TikTok says, and it seems to like play pretty well.
Yeah.
I've been using that just because now so many people have said it. I was like, I guess that's what we are.
No, that it's man. What A Day to Remember did that. I don't remember what. Oh, crap, I can't remember what they called themselves. Like, but A Day to Remember did something similar, because they were one of the first, not the first band, but one of the first bands to come up with basically like easycore.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm like, they're definitely not progressive or prog.
No, like they did it with like easycore and same with Chunk No Captain Chunk and even like newfound glory. Like, so like there have been people out there who have like branded themselves differently than what the genre dictates. But like if you say prog punk, you're like, yeah, I can get a pretty good grasp even just hearing what you're saying into what that's going to sound like. And that's really, really important because
Yes.
I mean, even like as like Daryl was like talking earlier, it's like that's a hard question to answer when somebody comes up to our merch table and is like, it's like nobody wants unless you're in a math rock fan, we're gonna get so much shit. Nobody wants to hear you describe your music the way you think it sounds.
Right.
And I know that sounds like ass backwards, but they just want to know because like they're like DJ was saying, they want to be able to relate you to their favorite artist or what they listen to. It's like I used to make a joke on stage where it was like people would be like, "What do you sound like?" "We sound like your favorite band." There you go. That's like it was really dumb, but we're like kind of pop punk mixed with like hints of like pop and like rock and a little metal. Nobody gives a shit. Just call yourselves pop rock. Like nobody cares. They just want that direct. Can I relate this to Sum 41 or Blink 182? Because if I can, those are the punk bands that I know, and this is going to be so much easier for my music taste. So like being able to find that prog punk, that's fucking awesome.
And we do that too. If sometimes when people ask, we'll throw out two bands. We'll say we're a cross between Fall Out Boy and Rush. Or something like that. It lets them know what they're into.
Yeah, what they're getting into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, it's gonna have the Fall Out Boy aesthetic, but we're gonna play our instruments.
Absolutely. So speaking, go ahead.
There we go. Oh, can you guys hear me again now? Sorry, I think I lost you for a second.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that one. The thing about I was going to say the Fall Out Boy meets Rush thing too, because relating it to something they know. You guys already covered that. That's great. Sorry, I lost you there. Prog punk is also it's immediately accessible, but it also makes you want to find out more.
Yes, there's a little mystery behind it. It's a little hint.
The one that we like. We actually.
Oh, we're losing you.
We're losing you.
I think he's about to tell you the one that we came up with for ourselves was progressive power pop, but we found that doesn't help people know what we're going to sound like that much. That's more questions.
Yeah, more questions.
That makes sense. So let's move on to our next question, which is I just wanted to see, like, so you released your first EP, Part of the Whole in 2012, maintained a steady stream of music since then, all the while maintaining that signature sound. Of all of the music you've released, what would you say are a few of your favorite songs?
I mean, I'm partial to the new ones because they're new.
Yeah.
How about you pick one off of every record, DJ? That'll give us like four, like off the four releases, the 3 albums, and then the singles.
Okay, so we'll start. Everything with Andy on it is canon. Everything before that is just extended universe.
Okay, I like
it. I understand that. That's for me. That's what that was for.
It's kind of like a multiverse there.
So we'll start with Polarity, since that's the first canon album. My favorite one off of Polarity is probably Guts. Really like that song. Still kind of our mission statement. When people are like, "What do you sound like? What should I listen to?" That. My favorite off of Element and Aftermath. I want to say The Dissonance. Actually, I really like The Dissonance a lot, and Entire Orchestra. My favorite of the singles is Love No Medicine a single, Chris? Can I say Love No Medicine?
I was also probably going to say Love No Medicine. So
okay, Love No Medicine. Or Words. I really like Words and Scary Stories too, though. And then off the new album, my favorite is probably Shadows in the Cave or Smokestack Shrieking.
Good one.
Drastically different.
Yes.
And that's okay.
And that is okay.
So, Chris, do we have you back fully? Are you here?
I am fully back. I
Okay,
heard all of
perfect.
DJ's picks, and I thought they were all definitely songs I'd recommend. Can you guys can still hear me too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We got you.
Was that question a question I was supposed to answer as well?
You are more than welcome to.
If you want to, otherwise we can
Okay.
keep going.
I made DJ do it, and that's like a really hard. I hate that question.
That's
So
fair.
I will
We'll
make
just
myself do
ditto
it
what
as
DJ
well.
said. No.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
I like-
I'm gonna. I'm definitely gonna ditto. I struggle with it because you may have already discovered I have long-winded opinions about music.
What? No way.
Yeah, this might shock you. It's the same thing like you said about the genres. Musicians, you tend to want to say my favorite song is this song that is I'm the most proud of. I'm very aware that the one that I should show somebody is the complete fucking opposite song.
That's fair.
The only one that is the exception to this and why DJ referenced it also is our song Guts, which I find to still be a really good, okay, what exactly does your band sound like? What's all the stuff you do? And then also when people listen to it, they are like, oh my God, this is amazing. It hits all those things that you would want a song to do. So Guts off the first one. And then off of Element and Aftermath, I am going to say Wild Man song. And I'm going to be justified by the 6 people on TikTok who have told me how much they love it since they've found out about the album, even though that song is definitely just for me. There's a whole bunch of things about that album that, the ATM just shot all my checks back at me. Thanks.
There you go.
There's a bunch of things about that song that I really swung for the fences, or I tried to kind of work out compositionally, and they pretty much all work. Minus 1 or 2 things, and I'm really proud of that.
Nice.
For the singles, I probably would also say Love No Medicine, which is available on our Bandcamp only. So Stop.Drop.Rewind.bandcamp.com. Check it out.
There we go.
But it'll probably get an official release at some point here.
Nice.
And then off the new album, I know everybody's gonna be disappointed if I don't say Hold It Over Me, but I'm gonna say the Aftermath because again, with the compositional stuff and the way that it just slaps people so hard when they get into it and they're like, oh my God, this song, I hit all the stuff I wanted compositionally, and then when people listen to it, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah. There's a level of accomplishment to that kind of stuff where you're like, wow, people are actually digging this, and I put a lot of work into this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And
Well,
since
because
you go.
Oh, so I was just gonna say sometimes there's a song that and this does not anything bad about that song. If our song Made in Lincoln, but if you're Blink-182, and we all found out recently that they wrote First Date and Rock Show to be stupid summary pop songs, that kind of thing. I don't think those are bad songs, and I love to play them and stuff when it's our songs like that. But you kind of know when you're writing it that it's gonna people are gonna, you're like, oh dude, DJ, this song that you sent me a phone video of is this is the hit, dude. We're already hit.
Yes.
And you keep it kind of short on purpose.
Mhm.
And you don't really, sometimes when we get those, we angle more towards okay, how are we going to keep the vocals definitely in the forefront of this and make it the best more pop that we can have, and then you don't get in the compositional stuff as much.
Right.
We're gonna do one more quick question, I'd say, before we go to break here. But I've seen both of you. You are on TikTok, since you were bringing that up. You brought that up as well. But Chris, especially, you've kind of made yourself a following on TikTok, promoting the band and using your vast musical knowledge to educate people. Have you found that has translated over to new fans streaming your music and to live shows?
Working on the live shows part, although we've only had 4 out of town. I mean, I do have specific numbers if you would like me. It's going to sound like I'm bragging, but the numbers are literally just the answer to your question.
Sure.
Okay. So we went from 175 monthly listeners the week the album came out, right before it came out, to then once they all started to filter in after that Hold It Over Me video that I think you're referencing, we went to 17,500.
Wow.
So literally a
huge
100
jump.
1,000% increase.
100 times increase, right?
Yeah.
That'd be 2 zeros on the
Something like that.
Yeah,
So
I mean it.
that would be the answer to your question right there.
Yes, so you definitely have seen a jump from TikTok, which is
Correct.
That's
very
awesome.
impressive.
That's awesome.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and it's like insane because everybody told me like, hey, TikTok is for like stupid teenagers who like can't think for themselves and they just
God.
do dances. And then like I get on there and our biggest video is a video about alternating 14 and 15/8 and like playing bass. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not. So it kind of reframed our entire like how we project the band out into the world.
Yeah.
Well, dude, and that's something I'm gonna say. I'll say this before we hop to a break, but that with TikTok, that is something that's slowly, maybe not slowly anymore, but was slowly becoming an idea. Was, look, there's an audience for everyone out there, for everyone. Yes, there's this idea that TikTok is for dancing teenagers or like stupid trends, and there's a place for that, sure,
Right.
But the more
Like
Pat
fun.
and I have and the more Pat and I have even dived into it, like we've actually had people from TikTok on our podcast just because they're all about emo music, pop punk music, and supporting a local scene, and that's what their entire following is about. So it there's an audience out there for literally everyone. All you have to do is post the content and find it. And with that, we're gonna go to a quick break, and we will be right back.
Oh, hey, Jeff. Oh, gosh, hey! Thanks so much for watching the video. I wanted to tell you really quick about a bunch of new merch we got, and we got these super cool sweatshirts. Got stuff on the back. We got these new hats in. Oh, man, they're so freaking warm and comfy. We even got these cool shirts. These shirts are cool. You know, all proceeds go back into helping us be able to support up-and-coming bands so be able to do this full time. So everything is super helpful. We got these really cool bandanas too. Check them out. www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Link will be in the description below.
And we're back with our friends in Stop, Drop, Rewind. Guys, we have one more important question for you that does pertain to music. Before we get to the fun part of the podcast. And I say that because this podcast
I hated this whole process so far. Yeah,
we do too. Like, honestly, we can't wait to get here, you know. But the question is, and if Andy, you can answer this if you'd like to. I know you're busy, but if you can answer, if you could give our listeners one bit of advice that you know now that you had wished you had knew when you first started out, what would it be?
Don't take music too seriously.
Don't take music too seriously. Okay.
For me, it would be listen to your dad.
Okay.
Huh.
Do you want to
That
go
goes
into that a
against
little bit more?
everything pop punk, but that's fine.
So I know I'm going to lose all my punk cred. My wife is super supportive. My parents also super supportive. Not pointed.
Dude, are you even in a band?
I know. Who am I? Well-adjusted 33-year-old man. What the fuck? No.
Look what support can get you. Okay.
Right? I know. I have 2 cats and a turtle that depend on me. We used to practice at my parents' house, and my dad is a musician as well. He plays guitar. He's in bands growing up and stuff. Not a ton of original music, but just a ton of experience playing, and he taught himself to play guitar and stuff. And when we were teens, he had a lot of advice for us. And I was real punk rock, and I was like, "Shut up, Dad! You don't know. What do you know? I'm the expert on this." And
get the hair.
he was absolutely right about every single thing he suggested for practice routines and how to write a song and what you need to do to be better. And he knows that I feel that way now. But yeah, we would be as good as I feel like Chris and I are at singing harmony together, which is okay. I feel like we would be like 100,000 times better if we'd practice doing it when he said to start practicing doing it, and not until we were like 19.
Absolutely.
Fair. That's fair.
Chris,
what do you got?
That was also the first thing that jumped into my head. But it's funny to ask a bunch of we're like decently into our 30s now, so we're kind of at that age where we circled back to most people's advice, and we're like, oh, those people who we thought were old and stupid actually do what they were talking about because they're old and stupid. And so we started taking a lot of the advice. That is a good story there too. As usual, I'm gonna hard disagree with Andy. say that the music is the only thing you should like take really, really seriously.
Okay.
And everything else is like not if you're gonna like get through it. I'm trying to think because the big one is that we needed to stay consistent in the past with like booking and like actually getting freaking work done. And we were so like I like procrastinating or like putting it off till tomorrow or like whatever. Like even just with like some of these weekenders that we actually are like getting booked and like people are coming to see us and not like a lot like but like 5 people that we like are really excited that they're there in like new towns and like different towns and stuff. We could have been doing this like 8 years ago and been 8 years down the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In like playing out of state and like having a different or like, you know, more built up following. But we just were like, well, we had like some shows here this month. So like, that's fine. And I'm going to play video games and like drink now. And like, not that I don't still like to play video games and drink because I definitely do that.
Right. As you should.
But there is a time to like sit your shit down and actually get work done.
Right.
Yeah. And there's you know, like you're saying, there's 2 sides to that coin. It's a balance. Like for me personally, I know I took music way too seriously to the point where I got burnt out and now I'm not even in a band anymore. Right. Like, and if I were to get into another band, it's yes, there's that level of seriousness that I want to bring into it, but I don't want to overexhaust myself to the point where I burn out because I still want to enjoy the fact that I'm playing music. And that's like,
well, and
for me,
my comment is not necessarily about the amount of time or effort you put into it, because you should put as much effort as you can into anything you do, including music. My comment more is like the people who take, especially like me when I was in high school, you know, you take music so seriously to the point to where you don't even really understand it anymore, right? Like you try to think of all kinds of different ways to, you know, do this or that, and it's not about the music anymore at some point.
Yeah. Well, you take
and
it
doing
so
that kind of
becomes
concurrently a shadow of itself, right? Because doing that also concurrently like puts you backwards, because all people really want is they want you to sound good and make it feel good, right?
Right. And that's
did you guys catch all that? Because I missed most of that.
I missed.
I caught most of it.
I caught most.
It was coherent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I mostly heard gaps. Sorry, Andy. I'm sure it was really.
I'll repeat it if you need me to. For the.
I think we
Sound
got
like talking to a drunk person.
No. It was. You could understand most of it on our end. So.
Good.
Oh, okay,
good.
I'm sure it was really.
We're gonna listen back to
and
this podcast when it comes out, and it's gonna be like, fuck, why didn't we just redo it?
Fuck me.
But no, I appreciate that mindset that Andy brings to it, and it's something that I wish I had done personally. Is just, you know, I talked so much out of my ass when I first started. Like I thought I knew it all.
Can you repeat the mindset that we're talking about for me, so I know what you're talking about?
Sorry, we're talking about DJ's mindset of listening to your father. No, talking about the mindset of for me personally, I took music so seriously that I was talking out of my ass a lot when I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, just so I could say that I was doing something. And it's an easy, I know it sounds dumb, but it's an easy rut to find yourself in. And then once you surround yourself with players who are so good at what they do that like they're just cool by being themselves and by playing what they play, that you're like, oh shit, these people know so much more than me. And if I had just, back to DJ's comment, if I had just listened to the people around me who were telling me what to do to get to where they are, I'd be so much farther along. What Chris was talking about, if I could only do it then, I'd be like so many years farther along by now. And now I have to start now. So like 8 years down the line, and it just snowballs. And so it's like, I enjoy taking all the aspects, and I think even our listeners will too, because we have a lot of listeners who are just starting bands. They're in bands that are just starting to, you know, get some traction, and then even some who are just where they want to be and just looking for more advice. So having all kinds of mindsets and perspectives really gives a solid ground and a solid founding into what you want to do, not only as a person, as a musician, and being in a band. It's awesome. I had the floor for too long there, didn't I? I'm sorry, boys. With all of that said, we are going to introduce our next segment. This segment is called the Obscure Question segment, and everyone is allowed to answer the way they want to answer. It's just obscure. So enjoy it. We are now off the music entirely and going straight into who we are as people, and that's all it is.
That's what you think.
I swear, if anybody can make this about music, it'd be Chris. And that
I was like, you are going to be surprised when my answer is entirely yeah. Anyway.
Hey, you guys, it was great talking to you, but I got to head out and I got to start playing in a couple minutes. So thanks so much for the interview, and I'll see you.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Andy. Thanks for being here.
Have a good show.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right. Now that Andy's gone, we can shit talk. All right. So here's the first question. If you had 2 days left to live and had unlimited resources, how would you spend those last 2 days?
Mine is immediately going to be music. I don't know why you thought that wasn't going to be. Dude, I don't know why you thought. I don't know why you thought that wasn't going to be. I am immediately going to take all of my biggest rig and just set it up somewhere, and take like some beers, and then probably do my fucking insane loops for like 3 hours or something, and then probably go hang out with like all my buddies and maybe like jam some more, and then like meet up with, that'd be like day one, and then see, probably see everybody, or like, and then meet up with my woman, obviously, for day two here.
There you go.
Yep. All of that, but at the Grand Canyon, I think is where I would be.
You might have an issue with the power supply, but bring acoustics.
Yeah, I have unlimited resources in this scenario, so I can buy a generator.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I forgot about this.
Buy a generator, and we can do a dig on the Grand Canyon, and then my wife and I will hike and camp, and my cats will be with me.
I will say this though, I've run shows off generators. Don't do it.
Yeah,
we've done a million of those.
Oh, they're the worst.
I'm gonna put a pin. I'm gonna put a pin in the music story to ruin your segment here for that. But I don't understand. I guess to maybe to get somewhere, I could go buy more bigger amplifiers just to experience an actual wall of sound or something. But the effect is the same. What I'm actually gonna be doing, the resource is an interesting part of that, because you can't buy something that's gonna cure you, right?
No, it's the world is ending. So
okay, I don't know. I'm literally, I just described also what I do if I don't have a gig on a Saturday. So maybe my life is nice. I literally practice by myself, maybe walk around outside, and then I try to set up a jam with my buddies, and then we have our girlfriends and wives meet us once we've ran out of Blink songs to play and are good and sloshed. Then they come over and we hanging out with it. That is an ideal day for me. So I don't really need a lot of resources to do that, I guess.
But that's great though. That's awesome. If that that's it sounds like for both of you, it's just very you pretty much have what you want already, and it's very simplistic.
Yeah, I love that.
Some of that is because we've been in a band for a million years, and so you don't get, our budget is tight.
Right, so we can only think of the resources that we currently have on hand and what we kind of want. We sit here I'd buy the freaking Chrysler building and build a big ass unlimited resources. You say I'd have every worker build a water slide in an hour, and I would go down the Empire, or not the Chrysler building, and with the biggest world, just all these things, the longest water slide, and that's only the first hour. You know what I mean? I have unlimited resources.
I guess to be philosophical about it though, you only do those things so that you can tell people about it or remember them later when you are thinking about they enrich your life. But if your life is ending, there's no point in doing new, why do you need to go down a while? You're not gonna tell anybody about it. You'll be dead.
Maybe that's day one. Day two, I can tell people about it.
Day two is spent just telling as many people about it.
Day two,
I have unlimited resources. I have the front page ad on every single newspaper in the world, already ready to go.
He took out an ad in fucking AP or something.
Amazing. Yeah, right.
All right, next question.
Skywriting. I wrote a water slide.
Right,
Yeah,
and I'd have it like planned, unlimited resources. I'd have it planned to the time where it's like I've already put my deposit down. Like 2 months. 2 months.
Oh my God!
Like it's already up in the air now. Perfect timing because I
You're
gotta
ready.
fit it in 2 days. This is a logistical nightmare, but I'll make it happen.
Do you want to hear our generator gig story?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Well, I do.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Because it's an intent. DJ, you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
No.
With the beach gig.
Yes, I do now.
That was remember they had to fill up. We ran out of gas at some point. And they had to fill up the dads had to fill up. Okay, I played a brewery in Indiana, in Michigan City, Indiana, on a Friday night with like a fusion band, like serious fusion. The drummer played with Sean Lane and Jonas Hellborg in the '90s. So like for real fusion shit. And there was like a bachelorette party there. I get a call or like a weird message on Facebook the next day. And it is the bride from the bachelorette party. And she said, "Hey, I saw you at the brewery last night. I need my music for my wedding failed on me. Can you guys play our wedding?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I have different groups that play your wedding." I was like, "When is the wedding?" It was that day at 1:30 p.m. I was on the phone with her at like 11.
Oh,
and she was
God.
like, "Yeah, he was supposed to start at 1:30 on the beach in Michigan." I was like, "Wait a minute." Dude, we did the gig. I was supposed to be on a big band, like a swing band gig. I called DJ. I was like, "Dude, are you free?" He was like, "Well, I'm getting in the car to go to Michigan." I said, "Turn around." We get out there. I thought she meant like a property on the beach or like a deck on the beach or something. We got this drummer who's a little bit older guy, but he's great in our area and stuff. So we got all our gear out there. It is literally in the sand on Lake Michigan. We were 20 yards from the water.
Jeez.
Yeah. So luckily we got all of the people from the wedding to come up off the beach and each grab a piece of gear and then load it like 300 yards down the beach past the stairs because there was like, they weren't by the stairs to load it was like a whole thing. I also left out that this was a surprise wedding.
What do you mean by a surprise?
Surprise
the
to
bride
who?
and groom knew it was a wedding, and the person.
Wow.
Everybody else was just having a beach party.
Damn.
Well,
That's
okay, but
wild.
like, put yourself in their heads for a second. They're about to have a dope ass beach party because a live band is about to kick it on the beach with them. Like that's sick. I wish I had that reality for 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
we did. We with a 3 hours notice, I got a band together, and we went out.
And their first dance song was
Yes.
"Harvest Moon" by Neil Young. I've never played that before.
Wow. That's
While I
awesome.
was like hiring a drummer and like trying to get gear together, DJ was like learning music and like putting everything else together for us. I was like, "What is happening?" Yeah, dude, unbelievable things happen to you when you play music for long enough.
That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man. Oh, I got some stories, but for another time. For another time.
For another time, another show.
We still got 2 more questions. We might only have 1 more question if this is gonna, because he's probably got a story about this one. Let's be honest.
I told you we talk a lot.
No,
That's
I
all good.
like it. I love it.
Perfect.
Keep it
This
coming.
is a podcast. This is
That's
about
all.
talking.
That's what this is for.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the next question. You have to choose between one or the other: to live in California, but it's only ever 40 or 50 degrees, or Iowa, but it's always 75 degrees. Which would you choose?
These are unusual questions.
Yeah. Well, they're obscure.
They're obscure. We like to stay on brand.
I am not a beach
Chris is
guy.
gonna be like,
so
well, it
I-
all depends. How many stages are in Iowa? Because like,
I was literally, my answer to this was literally going to be Iowa because one of my favorite venues in the country is in Davenport. I told you every single of these questions was going to
I
be.
should have like put an
You've embroidered.
asterisk on it. Just
Well,
like,
and to
you
be
can't
fair-
play music
Oh well, we'll know that for next time.
for next time we have Chris on. We
Yeah,
have
that's,
Stop,
you know,
Drop,
I
Rewind.
frequently do these places. Hi, Victoria.
Okay, so you said
No,
Iowa because
so-
of Davenport.
Because of Davenport, the Redstone Room there.
The red. Oh,
Also,
that's a
you
good
guys,
one.
I'm stealing Andy's baby. I now have Andy's baby in hand, even though he's in Arkansas.
Well,
Oh,
there you go.
Do you want to be on the podcast, Victoria? Say hi.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Thanks.
It's
She
your
did not want to
birthday?
say hi to the podcast. It was my birthday. We're right in between mine and DJ's birthdays.
oh wow. Well,
happy
happy
birthday to both of you.
early birthday and happy
very much.
belated birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, DJ, it's your turn. All right.
It's Iowa.
It's Iowa.
I live in Iowa.
Why?
Yes.
Why Iowa though? Like, come on, it's Iowa. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I like nice weather. I like doing stuff outside. I could do that in Iowa, and I'm not like really a beach guy in general. I know they got a lot of that in California. They got a lot of other stuff that's nice too.
That's fair.
But
That's fair. All right. We're gonna.
You know,
oh, go ahead.
I think I'd agree though, because like I don't want to be cold all the time. You know, that
right,
sounds
right.
like
Yeah.
I'd rather there be like less things like, but it's like if you're in California, it's like beach type stuff, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's 40-50. You're not going to do that anyway. It's too cold.
That's
Right.
That's true. Like, you don't get the goodness of the coast with.
and it's
with
like
that weather.
it's if it's like at max 50 degrees, or are you going to go to Universal Studios? Is that going to be fun?
Yeah.
50
Come on.
degree, like
Dude, we live in the north. Like, come on.
yeah, but you'd
50
be used
degrees
to
is
it and
good.
just be cold.
Well, okay, fair. All right, last question.
Okay.
If aliens were to visit our planet, what is the first? Oh no, I already know what Chris is. I'm gonna introduce you to music. If aliens were to visit our planet, what is the first thing you'd introduce them to about Earth?
The first thing I would introduce them to.
Yeah.
I mean, is food an acceptable answer, or do I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to choose? Yeah, they
Whatever
get
you
some
want.
Earth food, some
Earth
some
food.
real
Get some Earth food.
Earthling chow.
What,
You're really
what-
not gonna
what
say-
would-
you're
what
not
would
gonna
be
say
like
band?
your offering? Like, hello, here's Burger King. Like, what?
No,
what would
no,
you-
no. I don't want. I want to stay a planet. We'd give them like donuts and milkshakes or something.
No,
like,
oh, okay.
It's a sweet place to hang out. Maybe a beer. I don't know. You like beer?
Oh, yeah.
Find out-
I like
Find out
beer.
how the alien body reacts to beer. Best case, they really like it, and they really like it, and us for giving it to them. Sorry, excuse me. And worst case, it's damaging to their bodies, and we know their weakness, and we can take control. So yeah,
or
I
they
would
just
say-
blow it out their side holes or something.
I mean, I guess I can't speculate as to what would happen
Right,
if we
but
gave
like,
them anything. But I would start with offerings of donuts and milkshakes, and go from there. That's just like a jumping
so
off point.
I'm gonna be an
I
alien
agree.
when
I
meet
would
you.
say that's a sign of peace.
Yeah,
Right,
I would say so
exactly.
too.
Exactly.
All I'm
Even
saying
if
is
they
like,
don't
if,
it's
if
like,
I
this is
meet you in real life, you better have an offering of donuts and milkshakes.
Are you telling me that you're from space right now?
Sure, whatever it takes. I need donuts and milkshakes.
Whatever it takes to get
Right.
donuts and milkshakes.
All right,
Fair.
Chris, if you can hear me, what is
I
yours?
can hear you. I politely had you muted that time.
Oh,
I love it.
well, look at that.
So here's the short. The short version is I'm doing welcome to Stop.Drop.Rewind. I'm doing a car swap with Andy, who is in Arkansas.
Okay.
So we have the truck we use for band stuff is not in Arkansas, but we have dates in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois this weekend.
Mm.
And I need the truck. So
Well,
I am,
You got to do what you got to
talking-
do.
yes, I am. That person I've been talking to is Andy's wife.
Sure.
Mm.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
Dude, look at this.
Sorry- sorry about
these
that.
guys are grinding while on the podcast.
Yeah.
DJ,
that is
step up your
that is
game.
correct. Oh, dude,
DJ's
we shot a video for a commission that we have literally up until 5 minutes before we got on the thing with you guys.
Yep. He lives next door to me, so he could do stuff like that.
I do.
Wow.
That's
Fair
awesome.
enough.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Pat and I don't even live close.
No, we're like, use like 8, 6, 7 hours away from me.
Yep.
Dang.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
aliens have arrived.
Yep. And you're
Yes.
going to introduce
Earth.
to them.
And then
And I'm
they're
gonna
cool.
introduce-
They're nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, and they're nice. So, and this is a good segue to then talk about Star Wars because I didn't forget that we said that. So, can I say? Because I probably wouldn't be so cocky as to play them my band. Can
You
I
should.
say another? Yeah, I know. I mean, I would think about it, but then I would be like, well, everybody's going to judge me when what TV alien people are watching, and like, oh, he played his band, of course, and like,
Yeah,
my,
but if you
like my
get to
mom
them
and my brother
first-
would be like, of course.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, right. So, can I say another album or like artist or something?
can
Or
do whatever you want.
man.
Okay, so
But
I
if
would
you
probably
say
play them-
Beethoven, you're cocky. That's
No. I would probably play them music or be like, check out this Hot Fire from 2006.
Oh, straight up.
And like, so yeah, because one of our all-time like favorite albums and like kind of one of our blueprints of like, okay, we want to make music that is like has a lot of layers and is engaging and stuff is an album from a band called This Day and Age. They're now called The Reign of Tindo.
Okay.
And it was their band before that, and they have like a literally flawless album. That would probably be there, or I would like bro it out and be like, "You guys like beer and titties? Like, what's up?"
Beer and titties. Hell yes.
Beer and
Yeah,
titties. Is
I mean,
great.
like, I would probably give them a beer, and then we would listen to some music. Like, let's be real.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's stay
There
on
you go.
brand. Let's stay on brand. All right.
Right.
You guys did it. You made it to the final segment of our podcast. Now, this is going to take like mere seconds. So, Pat, I'm gonna have Pat introduce this segment. Pay close attention because this is good shit.
Dang, somebody's cruising out there though.
Oh yeah, that's the street. Man, these headphones are weird. Okay, sorry.
I'm just enjoying the third party. Like, just get it, dude. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so this is our last segment. It's called Rapid Fire Questions. It's you just speak from the heart, shoot from the hip. It's yes or no questions. It's one word answers. So whatever's the first thing that pops in your head, mostly.
Okay.
All right. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Nice.
that's my boy Chris.
MTV or Fuse?
Fuse.
I don't really know what Fuse is, so I'm gonna say MTV.
That's fair.
got
Fuse
DJ on this
was
one.
just another MTV. PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Xbox.
Ooh, both letting me
Nice.
down.
Nice. They're my boys. They're my boys. Is a sweatshirt a sweater?
Yes,
Absolutely
a
not.
sweatshirt is a sweater.
No.
but a sweater
No,
is not.
dude. No. What?
Yes.
No.
It is no. The correct answer,
The correct answer is no. But I loved how DJ was like, yeah.
Yes. And then Chris is like, what the fuck is wrong with no? No.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Tom DeLonge or Matt Skiba?
Tom DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge.
Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
Rock band.
Rock band, because you can play drums.
Yep.
Oh.
This is
Okay,
the
I'll
last
have you
one.
know. Hold on. They're the first ones to answer Rock Band on the podcast.
And also Guitar Hero, you can play drums on it.
You
in the later
can
games.
now. Rock Band came out and you could do all of them, but Guitar
Right.
Hero came out.
They were the
for,
first
like,
one.
The first ones, and you can only do guitar and like bass.
And we respect that. We respect that.
Oh,
they
absolutely. There's a respect,
innovated.
but Rock Band
Oh,
was the
yes.
first to do everything.
Absolutely. Okay, last one. Newfound Glory or Simple Plan?
Newfound Glory. Chris says the same.
No. No.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree that he does say the same. But
He
that's
does.
it.
Yeah,
It's,
actually,
not,
he
it's
would.
not even close for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I get that. I get that.
That's fair. And that's okay. You know,
I love how
Hey,
these
okay.
questions. Oh,
Did I miss
Mike-
one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Newfound Glory or Simple Plan.
Oh, did you answer for me, DJ?
I did, yes.
Thank you. He's correct.
Yeah.
he didn't even ask if it was right. He just knows it's correct.
No, I know what he said. He's right.
All right, guys. Well, you did it. You made it through the podcast. We want to thank you guys for being here. But before we let you go, promote yourselves, promote your brand, promote your band. Where can we find you? And what? Maybe if you guys have any more music coming out soon, tell us about Stop, Drop, Rewind, and then we'll send you on your way.
Great. Thanks for having us. Sorry we had some connection issues with everybody being all over the country there, but
That's all good.
and me being bad at using my phone. And we are a prog punk band called Stop, Drop, Rewind. And then you may have noticed we really, really like playing music and talking about music. If you like that kind of stuff, check us out. TikTok, it's at SDRKLO or at DJCSDR. YouTube is youtube.com/stop-drop-rewind. Honestly, if you just Google stop-drop-rewind, my face pops up and tells you that I'm a musical artist. And I mostly agree with that statement. And it feels a little official when Google shows it to you like that, though. But of course, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere that you find music, all the streaming stuff too. We are on it.
Spotify, Apple.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp for sure.
Stop.Drop.Rewind.com, best place to find merch or songs or anything you need. Just buy it straight from us.
All of our lyrics are on the website and our Bandcamp as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. This was a blast. This has been another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Thank you to those who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else you stream your podcast. If you're in the position to help us grow, head over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsigned pop punk. Let us know in the comments below who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thanks so much.